Good evening, I'm Chelsea Sick. An Athens resident is recovering in a Huntington hospital after being shot in the early morning hours of the day.
And I'm Mackenzie Pyatt. Thanks for joining us. 29-year-old Alex DJ Andrews was shot through his kitchen window and sustained injuries to his face, neck, chest, and abdomen. For more details, we go to Justin Holbrook, who's live in the newsroom. Justin, what's the latest?
Mackenzie, I spoke with Alex's mom a few hours ago, and she said her son had 2 surgeries, several procedures, and is on a breathing tube. But the good news is that he's in stable condition and is expected to be woken up later tonight. Alex was making a snack in his kitchen when he was shot through the window at about 2 a.m. He was shot with a buckshot shotgun, but did not sustain any injuries to his organs or brain, and was flown from his Athens home to the St. Mary's Hospital Intensive Care Unit in Huntington, West Virginia, where he is now. His mother, Terry Jean, spoke to me about what she felt after hearing her son had been shot.
I was numb, and I was angry, and scared and worried. But, you know, most of all, I think that all of a sudden you revert back to them being a little kid, and all you want to do is protect them and make sure that nothing bad happens, and you can't because everybody around you is taking care of them for you, and all you can do is watch them.
Now, what Terry wants most of all is for a dialogue to start in the community to figure out if anyone knows any information that might help the police catch the shooter.
Now that Alex is safe and he's going to be recovering, I really want to find out who did this to my son and why they did it. And this is an attempted murder, and I want that person brought to justice.
According to Terry, Alex had been talking to those on the scene after he was shot and said he had no idea who would want to hurt him. For a little more background on Alex, he graduated from Alexander High School and is the owner of the Thunder Bunny Tattoo Parlor located on West Simpson Avenue. He's also the father to a 6-year-old and is a well-liked and well-respected member in the Athens community, according to his mom. Now, if you have any information, you can call the Athens Police at 740-592-6606. Reporting live in the newsroom for WOUB, I'm Justin Holbrook.
Gun violence is becoming a hot topic with students on Ohio University's campus. OU Student Senate held an open forum at last night's meeting to inform students and hear their opinions. The Senate plans to email an online ballot asking students if OU should allow concealed carry on campus. Members and attendees debated their view throughout the night. The Ohio Board of Trustees will start discussing the issue at tomorrow's meeting. An Ohio University student living in James Hall is under observation for a probable case of bacterial meningitis. Dean of Students Jenny Hall Jones sent an email to students yesterday to explain the illness and the way it's contracted. Bacterial meningitis is spread through the transfer of saliva. Common symptoms include stiff neck, fever, nausea, and vomiting. The Ohio University Board of Trustees plans to announce the interim president tomorrow. The interim president will fill in after President Broderick McDavis leaves February 17th. The agenda also includes voting to approve a more than 3% tuition increase. The board is aiming to approve new video boards in the Convocation Center and Peden Stadium tomorrow as well.
Thousands of women from all over the country will attend the Women's March on Washington Saturday. 8 Ohio University students who are members of the Jewish Hillel group will be among those marching. The march could be one of the largest protests linked to Donald Trump's inauguration. Lily Scher, president of Jewish Women of Ohio, thinks it's important to march and have her voice heard.
I think it's important for women's voices to be heard in the government and in every aspect of life, and also to march in support of women and in solidarity with women of color or women who are LGBT or anything like that.
The Women's March on Washington will take place this Saturday, one day after the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump. The village of Coolville is without a mayor this evening. The Athens County Board of Elections received a letter of resignation from Curtis Rood on Tuesday. Rood was asked to leave office by Council President Teresa Holsinger. A different letter delivered to the Board of Elections from Holsinger says Rood, quote, violated the trust of village council members after sharing a discussion from an executive session of council. Rood was elected in 2015 and his term was set to expire in December 2019.
Good evening and welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Adriana Davies. And this past week, we've been feeling above average temperatures, and those temperatures will be here to stay. We will see a little bit of a chance of rain into this weekend and tonight, but the warm temperatures will be here to stick around. As for right now in Athens, we're looking at 43 degrees under partly cloudy skies with winds from the east at 5 miles an hour. Right now around the region, we see 42 up in Columbus, Newark, and New Lexington, 50 down in Ironton, 49 over in Ripley, 48 in Chillicothe and in Jackson. In our overnight hour, by 12 a.m., we'll see 43 degrees with overcast skies, 3 a.m., 44, and the chance of rain will start to increase, and by 6 a.m., 47 degrees. It will definitely be raining by then and probably rain throughout the day tomorrow as well. Now over to you, Chelsea.
One county in Ohio is seeing a spike in deaths related to drug overdoses. There has already been 10 times more reported fatal overdoses this year than at this time last year. One of the reasons is a deadly drug combination that's becoming more popular. Jerry Ricciuti reports.
In less than 3 weeks' time, Mahoning County's deputy coroner has already seen at least 10 suspected fatal overdoses, not counting cases still being investigated from late December.
In 2016, we only had the one death at this time. 2015, we only had a couple.
Orr, who's also the county's forensic pathologist, tells me unlike other years where ODs only involved pills, he's seeing a significant change.
The trend seems to be more and more heroin and fentanyl.
It's a combination the doctor calls absolutely lethal. This week, a man was found dead on Youngstown's east side, still clutching a syringe in his hand. Earlier this month, the couple was found inside their home on the west side with drug paraphernalia close to their bodies. Last year, more than 175 people died from fatal overdoses in Mahoning and Trumbull counties, and while the increase puts a strain on the coroner's staff, time, and budget, the situation is only getting worse.
This is a community problem. It is absolutely a public health epidemic, and it needs to be treated just like influenza or cancer.
The Mahoning County Sheriff has put together a heroin overdose task force to help local police investigate these cases. Supervisors insisting they won't be looking just for big-time dealers.
That is the Drug Task Force, DEA's job. This is a crime where somebody has given somebody something that has caused their death.
But to truly tackle this epidemic, Dr. Orr believes families and neighbors need to get involved and informed.
We have to be going to the parent-teacher association meetings. We have to be going to the church meetings, the lectures.
For now, though, the body count continues to climb. In less than 3 weeks' time.
To learn more about how you can help prevent drug overdoses, visit www.drugabuse.gov. Ohio Governor John Kasich is in Washington today for the inauguration of former political rival Donald Trump. Kasich met with GOP Senator John McCain of Arizona to discuss national security issues, and then joins 2 private roundtable discussions with members of Senate committees. Other statewide elected officials are expected at the inauguration, as well as congressional representatives and senators of both parties.
West Virginia Governor Jim Justice is discontinuing the use of 5 government vehicles due to a budget crisis. The vehicles were originally used by the governor's staff. Justice says cuts and cost-saving measures are being made to meet the $400 million budget for next year. Justice is asking his entire cabinet to make cuts, no matter how small. And a former water testing employee will be spending 2 years in prison for his involvement in a false sampling scheme for southern West Virginia coal mines. According to the Charleston Gazette-Mail, former manager at Appalachian Laboratories, John Brewer, was sentenced yesterday to the maximum penalty allowed. Brewer pleaded guilty last year to 1 count of falsifying water sample reports under the Clean Water Act.
President-elect Donald Trump is in D.C. and gearing up for his inauguration speech.
And tensions are brewing over his cabinet picks. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, this is it. And she said, the tour's just started. I said, no, you don't understand. This is it.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Some of the president-elect's cabinet nominees are facing problems with confirmation. Senate Democrats are questioning several nominees over a variety of factors, but Republicans say Democrats are simply trying to obstruct the incoming president. Kim Hutcherson has the latest on a brewing confirmation battle.
There is really no excuse for the delay tactics and, frankly, the partisanship that's being exhibited by the Democrats.
Incoming White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer slams congressional Democrats over contentious cabinet hearings on Capitol Hill.
I believe he'll do everything legally and as it relates to
No. Wait, this is not my question.
Cabinet picks like Betsy DeVos, Steve Mnuchin, and Tom Price facing tough hearings, which prompted criticism from Spicer Friday morning.
And the idea that Democrats would use these stall tactics, it's not in the country's best interest.
Less than an hour after Spicer's comments, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer fired back, promising no reprieve.
If there was ever a group of the cabinet nominees that cry out for rigorous scrutiny, it's this one.
Schumer has signaled that 3 of Trump's national security picks may be confirmed, but accused the GOP of trying to rush the confirmation process with other nominees.
Republicans have made a mockery of the cabinet hearing process, trying to jam through nominees in truncated hearings, nominees with serious conflicts of interest and ethical issues unresolved.
Senate Democrats can slow the process down, but don't have the numbers to block most of Trump's picks. I'm Kim Hutcherson reporting.
This morning, Mike Pence announced all of the cabinet members are now chosen and will report to work bright and early on Monday morning.
President-elect Donald Trump is getting ready for tomorrow's inauguration. Incoming White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer says Trump is finalizing his inaugural address. The speech will be about his vision for the country, as well as infrastructure and education.
I think it's going to be less of an agenda and more of a philosophical document, a vision of where he sees the country, the proper role of government, the role of citizens.
The inauguration ceremony is scheduled to begin tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Michigan Republican Ronna Romney McDaniel is the new chairman of the Republican National Committee. McDaniel was Trump's preferred choice. She is also the niece of 2012 presidential nominee Mitt Romney. She was previously the Michigan GOP chairman and earned credit with Trump by supporting him despite Trump's criticism of her uncle. McDaniel's election comes as the GOP works to improve its standing with women and minorities.
On Wall Street today, stocks varied across the board. Here are a look at stocks of local interest. Athens now has new guidelines for treatment. That story's still ahead.
Rain is coming and it's on the way. We will have a warm weekend ahead. That'll be up next on my extended forecast.
Professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
Good evening and welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Adriana Davies. And right now in Athens, we're looking at 43 degrees under partly cloudy skies with winds from the east at 5 miles an hour. Our almanac for today, we were a little bit above normal with 45 degrees as our high, 35 being the low. The low for our normal high tonight. Our low was 40 degrees today, whereas our normal low for this time of the year was 16, so we were way above average with that. We are way above average with a lot of the temperatures that we've been having recently. We do stand a chance to break some records this weekend with the high temperatures that we will be seeing as well. Our temperatures right now around the region, we're looking at 44 in Athens, 50 down in Ironton, 49 over in Ripley, 48 in Chillicothe and in Jackson, and 42 up in the state's capital, Columbus. Our precipcast for today, we'll see the low pressure system start to move in. With that low pressure system, you can see the green signifying the rain. We'll see that rain move into tomorrow. So you can see that on here. We did have a high pressure residing, so today we didn't see clear skies, but we didn't see any rain. Our overnight lows for tonight, 40 degrees in Athens, 45 down in Ironton, 47 over in Ripley. That'll be the high for the region. So 37 up in Newark and 35 over in Cambridge. And as the night does move on, we will see the chance of rain begin to increase. Our overnight hour by hour, 12 a.m. we will see 43 degrees with overcast skies. And over to 3 a.m., 44 degrees with that chance of rain starting to set in. And then into 6 a.m. we will see 47 degrees with the rain increasing. Tonight in Athens, 40 degrees with a lot of rain. Our cooler temps than we're normally used to for this time of the year, for us at least, with the winds at east from 5 to 10 miles an hour. At the bus stop tomorrow morning, 49 degrees with that rain too, so don't forget to take an umbrella with you on your morning commute. You're definitely going to need that and in throughout tomorrow as well. So we will see 50 degrees by 8 a.m., 58, and then 61 by 4. And the chance for rain will start to dissipate as we move throughout the day. Tomorrow, 62 is our high in Athens. Like I said, mild temperatures, but we will see the rain on and off for tomorrow. As for our tomorrow highs, 63 in Athens, 65 down in Ironton, and 59 up in Newark. Our 7-day outlook, like I brought up, we will see the warm-up, 64 on Saturday, which will be nice for this time of the year. But as we move throughout the rest of the week, the temperatures will start to drop off. Now over to you, Kelsey.
Thank you. High blood pressure or hypertension affects about a third of adults in the United States. Now there are new guidelines for high blood pressure treatment. Kim Hutcherson has that in today's Health Minute.
Adults 60 and older have twice the rate of hypertension as the general population, according to the CDC's National Center for Health Statistics. Now, the American College of Physicians and the American Academy of Family Physicians have adopted new guidelines for the treatment of high blood pressure in people aged 60 and older. Those with a history of stroke or heart attack should aim for a target systolic blood pressure below 140, technically the lower limit for what is considered high blood pressure. The guidelines say older Americans without these risk factors should aim for a number below 150. If systolic numbers fall between 140 and 150, still considered high by many doctors, it may not be worth treating them at all. On the one hand, aiming for lower systolic pressure may reduce the chance of stroke, heart attack, or other cardiac problems, but it doesn't seem to change the overall death rate or quality of life. And increasing medication may also raise certain risks, such as fainting or abnormal kidney function. Health experts say it's about weighing the harms and the benefits of treatment and working out what's best for the patient. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
According to the CDC, only about half of the people with hypertension have it under control. Many do not know they have it at all.
Thanks, Chelsea. My name is Abby Carnevale, and tonight in sports, we'll talk about major sports franchises picking up and getting out of town, along with a key Ohio men's basketball player that will be spending the rest of the 2017 season supporting from the sidelines, next on Newswatch. Stay tuned to WOUB, and here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Friday nights are all about high school football, but when the games are over and the helmets come off, it's time for some gridiron glory. I'm your host, Danny Dean, back under center. Don't miss a play this season. Join myself and the rest of our team on Friday nights at 11:30 on WOUB and catch us again on Saturday mornings at 11:30. We are committed to bringing you the stories of players, coaches, and communities, and of course, we can't forget about some highlights. We all know there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
Ohio men's basketball fans confirmed today that they have lost senior forward Tony Campbell for the rest of the season due to a fractured right foot. Although Campbell has not redshirted during his collegiate career yet, he has played over the 30% allotment, averaging 24 minutes per game, and is ineligible to redshirt his senior season. Campbell declared for the draft after last season, but withdrew his name in hopes of another season taking the Bobcats to the national tournament. Head coach Saul Phillips will be at the Bronies Alumni Grill tonight on Court Street from 6 to 7 for fans and anyone else in attendance to ask questions. This can be heard on 105.5 FM for those in the Athens area. Now, just 1 week after the Chargers made their shift from San Diego to Los Angeles, another NFL team is looking to move to a city that can financially support their franchise. The Oakland Raiders filed an application to relocate to the Sin City earlier today and are now waiting for the 24 out of 32 NFL teams to approve the relocation. Clark County Commission Chair Steve Sosolak tweeted the news this morning and after the paperwork was filed. This will now be the second professional sports team in Las Vegas coming from the 2017 season. The Las Vegas Knights are set to expand the NHL with their season opener coming in the fall. This year's Baseball Hall of Fame inductees were announced last night. For 2017, the three were Jeff Bagwell, Tim Raines, and Ivan Rodriguez. Rodriguez, more commonly known on the diamond as Pudge, just squeaked past the threshold, getting the 76% of ballots issued by baseball writers. With Bagwell and Budge's nomination and rumors of the PED use during their careers, the known PED users in the Hall debate was reignited amongst baseball writers, former players, and fans. A little bit closer to home, today the Reds traded pitcher Dan Straley to the Miami Marlins in exchange for top pitching prospects Austin Bryce and Louis Castillo, along with other prospects. Bryce is expected to join the Reds' bullpen or AAA rotation, whereas Castillo is expected to start in AA. Just a little bit farther north, following their most lopsided loss of the season, the Golden State Warriors, the Cavs will take on the Phoenix Suns in an attempt to continue their lead in the Eastern Conference. Just 10 days ago, the Cavs trekked to Arizona, where they beat the Suns only 120 to 116. LeBron and the Cavs will tip off from the Q tonight at 7. Bringing down to a lower level of the hardwood, this past Tuesday was full of key high school basketball as division leaders Vinton County defeated Maysville 88 to 64 and NY squeaked by Liberty Union 76 to 73. In the matchup between NY and Liberty Union, the game was back and forth with the Buckeyes winning in a double overtime thriller. You can look forward to the ladies tonight hitting the hardwood as the Lady Eastern Eagles take on Fed Hawk and NY matches up against the Lady Vikings. That's all we have for sports today. My name's Abby Carnevale. Back over to you guys in news.
Thanks, Abby. And in case you didn't know, it's National Popcorn Day. Popcorn became popular in the United States in the middle 1800s, but it wasn't until one candy store owner developed a machine for popping corn with steam that the tasty treat became more popular. Today, Americans consume 13 billion quarts of popcorn a year. That's more than any other country in the world. Now let's send it over to Adriana for a final look at weather.
Now, thank you, Mackenzie. Tonight in Athens, we're looking at 40 degrees. It's going to be a rainy night, a little bit of cooler temperatures, but definitely above average still for this time of the year. Tomorrow in Athens, 62 degrees with those mild temperatures, and we will see warmer temperatures into the week and cooler temperatures towards the beginning of next week. Now back over to our anchors.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Chelsea Sick.
And I'm Mackenzie Pyatt. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.